Hey you, before the video starts, consider dropping a like, a comment, and maybe consider subscribing. This really does help the channel grow. On to the video. Hey guys, it's Main here, back again with another account review. Today we're looking at Artic's account, Artic147. I need to fact check myself and double check which Arctic this is. Please hold, if it's the Arctic, I think it is. It is, okay. Pretty notable player of the main Discord. Pretty helpful dude. Joined our Discord rather recently. He's a pretty nice guy. So, did you see Dragoon's video on Idleon Against the World? Yeah, there was Easter egg with a Windwalker and stuff. Anyways, we are looking at Artic's account. I guess no specific advice were given. So, you know, or other pain points of the account. So let's look at, you know, if I was in this position of Artic, what would I be doing to try to better my account? And you know, just give some advice. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Is that, hold on a second, sorry, I was tripping. I usually don't see golden opal 666s, so I was confused, but he doesn't have ice guard opals, I guess. You know, a skill issue, I guess. Okay, first thing I notice immediately are the statue levels. Statue levels are pretty low, so I'm not sure if you're fully aware of how to level up statues or shrines. Sorry, not statues, I mean shrines. Low levels of shrines. For this type of player who's, you know, this far progressed, level 284 Dragon Warrior statue, you know, you're pretty deep embedded into the end game. For level 26 shrines, it feels relatively low to me. So let's kind of quickly review how you level up shrines more efficiently. So you can get them up to like level 28, 29, even 30 eventually, if you ever get a shrine EXP ballot multiplier. So number one, most important thing obviously is gold food effect and the gold cheese. So let's see if you have a gold cheese across your characters. You do on most characters. Your Void Walker doesn't. Your AC doesn't. So two of your characters don't have cheese. The other thing maybe is where the placement of this is. Some Magma, Rivertown, all these Magma, Rivertown. Where are your characters located though? Activity. Ancient Golems, Bravery, Ancient Golems. Chopping, World 6, World 5. Golems, Bravery. Okay, so you have the statues placed correctly. Huh. Yeah, I guess just unlucky, or rather haven't gotten on the statue grind recently or optimizing it recently. So I mean, yeah, I mean it'll just take time. If I had one piece of advice, I would do probably two things right now. Is try to get more golden cheese across your characters so you can kind of catch up on the shrine levels, because again 26 feels low. So I would use I would go on AC and, you know, go farm Neptunes, I guess, for the drop rate. Or you can go to Blokes for the drop rate, or Blood Bones for the drop rate. Crystal, that is, inside Arcane Cultist form to try to get more drop rate out of it. And then go take your DK. Blokes tend to give more orb recently. Not recently, they always really have. But if you want to do black lenses for like the shrines for construction, like the Primordial Shrine, for example, you could do, you know, try to get the drop rate on Neptune, so you get more black lenses dropping while you're doing active farming in active DK farming for like the gold food crystal in statue food, statue grinding, statue level skill EXP 1 at Neptune, so you get more black lenses as well as statues as well as gold food. So, you know, going on AC, being inside the Arcane Cultist form, farming Neptunes for the drop rate so you can get more statues and more gold food to drop when you crystal farm on DK at Neptunes to help you level the Primordial Shrine, but also get more gold cheese so you can stick that across your characters. Honestly, getting to like 100k stack is probably going to help you out. You aren't going to really increase your shrine levels that much, or the EXP gain that much, but going from 20k to 100k on, you know, 9 characters effectively is pretty good. Or rather 8 characters, since you're going to be active on 1. The other characters, your Void Walker is doing like chopping nodes. So yeah, I think, you know, with the 100k stack across your characters, in addition to, you know, having 8 characters effectively AFK leveling up shrines, is going to help you in the long run for getting shrine levels. And to that point, if you leave those shrines, you know, commonly people ask about how to level up shrines. You just need to put it into the world that the majority of your characters are on. If you're at the point to where you want to level up and optimize your shrines, you probably are pretty much at the end game, because shrine levels just naturally come very fast within the first like 20 levels, to be completely honest with you, because of the amount of shrine EXP multi that was available to you that early, with the upgrades specifically coming from sailing. Later on, as you get the beanstalk upgraded for gold cheese, getting that to the 10k and eventually the 100k stack, and then splitting that across your characters, I think at that point you're at a safe level for farming shrine levels, and that's when you should consider, I guess, optimizing your shrine levels. So moving them to the town where most of your characters are situated. So if your characters are in World 5 doing World 5 stuff, you move your shrines to the World 5 town. And then as you're doing activity in the World 5 map, your shrines will level up naturally over time as you claim the AFK time. That's why whenever you see, I guess, end gamers, they try to consolidate their characters into one town at a time. For example, most of my characters are in World 5 right now, right? So I have my Deathbringer on Ancient Golems. I have most of my other characters on Bravery. So whenever I claim their AFK time, that time will go to level up these shrines. And you see here on the Crystal Shrine here, I'm at 109655k. If I claim these hours in Bravery for my Squire, for example, the 109, I already forgot the number. I go back. The 1095 whatever went up by quite a significant margin. That's because a lot of my characters have the golden cheese, and trying to get more of this will help you level up your shrines faster. This is probably the biggest source of shrine level up rate because of the amount of gold food effect we have from like the yummy peach rings, for example, to be able to level up your shrines faster. That just really scales this a lot. Also with the secret set from the armor sets, so getting the Mittens of the God, that very tedious World 6 glove for the V-Man, to complete this, the secret set will give you a multiplier of the gold food effect as well, so that's really, really powerful, and that'll obviously affect the Beanstalk, it'll affect your character's gold food to be able to give you more shrine level up rate, and eventually, as you get more and more gold food effect from a higher ribbon on the Yummy Peach Ring, you can hit really insane numbers like the 10k% increase to gold food bonus. And if you're on your warrior class, obviously this is higher because of their talent and also the Shimmeron upgrade related to gold food effect. And with the Jade Emporium upgrade very early on in World 6, the Shrine Collective Bargaining Agreement, whenever you move shrines, they no longer lose EXP. So when you're in World 6, you can move around your shrines, not have them lose EXP. It's a very nice upgrade, and it's kind of required if you want to be able to optimize your shrine levels. Someone asked in YouTube chat, what would you consider to be the beginning of Endgame? The beginning of Endgame is when you reach the end of World 6 and hit Samurai Guardians, truthfully. Is Neptune's the best place to gold food farm in World 3? No, it is not. Blokes are technically better. This, generally is pretty good. Dropping a statue here affects all the platforms. If you have enough slash piercing, it'll hit all the mobs. You generally hit higher orb levels on blokes than you do any other map in World 3. However, the reason I call out Neptune specifically is because as you stack up the orb of remembrance on Neptune's, as you gold food farm, you also drop black lenses, so you kind of do two things at once. You're gold food farming, obviously, from the crystal mobs, and that's the most important thing here, is trying to get the gold cheese. However, if you want to kill two birds with one stone, you can try to get more black lenses. Now, by no means, you're not going to be able to finish the construction building here at all, because it takes millions of black lenses to be able to max this out at 200. But you can kind of actively farm this in addition to gold food farming. Getting the gold cheese as well as doing black lenses. Now, if your sole focus is trying to get gold cheese, I would honestly probably recommend just do blokes, because you're going to get probably another like 100 to 200 stack on the orb. Then for gold cheese, you're going to be able to get a lot more gold cheese here on blokes than you would Neptunes. However, you can get like a few black lenses. You might be able to get like 2-3 levels out of the Primordial Shrine, which is, nice as you're actively farming it. And if you're able to Arcane Cultist Tachyon farm here, it would help you out with that. The other reason you could do Bloodbones as well, because it's a pretty flat map. Again, blokes are better, but you can also grind out the Equinox Mirror if you haven't green stacked it, because recently the drop rate for this decreased to where this is actually really easy green stack now, a 1 in 10. So this would be pretty easy. Now, if you want to get the Primordial Shrine to level 200, the best way to do that is being an Arcane Cultist form, doing AFK gain multiplier as well as the drop rate multiplier, and using candy here. This is by far the best way to get these black lenses, is being AFK on the map, truthfully. You know, getting 1900 black lenses for a 4-hour candy, that's pretty good. So yeah, I mean, generally it's advisable to focus on one thing than two, but if you are kind of lazy, like I am, for example, I would probably consider doing my statue farming here so I can get a little bit of black lenses. Now, I do want to specifically call out, DK is not the best character to be actively farming black lenses on. Elemental Sorcerer would be that character, because the way DK works is it's better at doing crystal mob drops than it is doing like rare drop farming. So for example, black lenses in this instance I would count as a rare drop. ES is better because it multiplies the effective. The way orb works is it doesn't really work in your favor for farming black lenses, versus Elemental Sorcerer's wormhole does work in your favor. So by all means, if you are actively farming on DK specifically for black lenses, it's not good, right? Elemental Sorcerer is way better. If you do a test, which I think Harbinger did a test for some materials, and you know, DK was not good for materials such as this. However, for statue farming, for gold food farming, it was. So, you know, if you're doing specifically statues, if you're doing specifically gold food, DK is better for that. However, rare drops such as black lenses, ES is way better, like significantly better than DK would be. So take your pick. If you want to kind of do things a little bit lazily, if you want to farm out the statue as well as gold food farming, do DK farming on Neptunes. If you want to do just gold food farming, Blokes is your best bet for World 3 for that specific purpose. So it just depends what you are motivated to do. If you want to be a little bit lazy, DK on Neptune is completely fine. Just know you're not going to be able to finish the statue for that reason. Or the shrine, rather, the shrine level to 200 in the buildings for construction. Okay. Stamp levels are pretty good. The exalted stamp choices are also pretty good. I don't think I really disagree with anything here. With the amount of exalted stamps you have, those are all pretty good. Owl at 17, you know, get that up to 18 or 19. Kilroy, how are your upgrades doing? Ooh, 69. Okay, that's a nice one. Again, depending how long you want to stay in Kilroy, I would get this to 180 and then get this to 120 personally, and then I would consider getting more points at a faster respawn. Me personally, I did this at 180, I did this at 120, and I did this at 100. Okay, when it comes to Vial farming, I think the next easiest Vial for you is either probably Dreadnought or the red, Jesus Christ, the Red Salt Vial at 13 is probably going to be the easier ones for you to do here. Obviously, the Red Salt Vial is, in my opinion, not really feasible for a lot of people until you get this into like the thousands of levels. Or rather, it'll take probably months to get your Red Salt Vial to 13 right now. I think probably leveling up your Redox Salts refinery to be into the thousands of levels will make that level 13 Vial much more obtainable. That's personally when I got that Vial to 13. And similarly for the explosive salts, getting that Vial to 13, you're going to need into the thousands of levels as well. And then at that point, honestly, I put it on auto refine, and it's still on auto refine so I can rebuild my red salts. But that's, you know, it's a long grind, but as you level up the refinery, things will get faster and faster and faster. It kind of, you know, compounds onto itself. So you can get those into the higher levels. Also remember to use your DK talents to help kind of optimize that, claim your AFK time, assuming you have dupe to claim the Omnifab procs for refinery, to be able to level up the salts better that way as well. Okay, Equinox, I'm sure you know, just Equinox symbols all the way. Keep laboratory fuse at 8, unfortunately. I am with you, brother. You have food less than 0, that's perfectly fine. So you're well primed to get this to up to 38, 39, 40, whatever, you know, as you upgrade Endless Summoning. And then in my opinion, my biggest focus would probably be Faux Jewels after that, getting that to 50 for a little bit more drop rate. And then after that, I don't know, maybe matching skims to help you with Emperor kills, maybe voter rights to help you with the ballot bonuses, because there's occasionally good ballot bonuses, such as maybe next week. I actually haven't checked what's the current #1 most votes right now. What's winning out? What's it's currently winning right now? Drop rate? Okay. Yeah, more drop rate's fine. Yeah, I mean, there's occasionally good ballots that come and go. So I mean, ballot bonus is not. It's good. In terms of Equinox upgrades, I'd prioritize probably drop rate a bit more, to be honest. Prints. Do you have at least a trillion print somewhere? You do. Perfect. I think honestly, for anyone aiming for a trillion print pre-World 7 is probably something you should do. If you want to prep, because we don't know what World 7 is going to bring, it might bring more. It might bring more resources for us to mine, so we're going to need more skill efficiency. So getting to a trillion print on any of them would be pretty good. Okay. I don't know if this is bugged or not, because occasionally it bugs out, but get baby boas to 1 billion kills if you haven't already. I know Toolbox tends to bug out sometimes for Death Note, so you might already have this at 1 billion. I'm not sure, but just make sure to get that to 1 billion if it's not. Only 110? Okay. All right, well, to each their own. Make sure to get your God shard set on your characters, because you don't have God shard for some of these characters. You've yeah. You have all the sets unlocked. Good. Meals, you're all at 110. Perfect. I guess, well, actually, something I don't really touch upon is ribbons, really. So let's look at what meals. Let's look at the order of the meals first. So how is your yummy peach ring? You're at a 18. So obviously the goal here is, focus all of your attention on trying to get yummy peach ring to rank 20. That's like the #1 priority. Gold food bonus is so incredibly impactful for obviously the shrine levels and trying to level up your shrines, right? So getting to 20 is going to be a huge multiplier. I think this brings it from 4.21 to 5x. So this is a massive increase to the gold food bonus. Also, this will multiply with the secret set armor set bonus that we have, so it'll give you a lot of gold food. So getting that to 20 is very, very good for your account. After that, in my opinion, I think the next big meals to try to get to 20 are going to be like the summoning EXP, for example, because summoning EXP is really important. Crop Evo chance ones are not really that great, considering that evolution GMO gives you a ton of Evo that you need for pushing to that 230 crop breakpoint. Outside of that, the liquid meals, I'm sure if Zadek is here, he will tell you that's a fantastic meal to try to get to 20. Skill efficiency is fantastic as well. Divinity EXP, I'm biased. I love Divinity. Always need more Divinity EXP. But yeah, skill efficiency, summoning EXP, liquid cap, Divinity EXP, there's great ones right there. And obviously there's Zadek in chat on queue. As World 7 comes around, as we get more meals, Lab EXP? No. Lab EXP it's better to scale the skill efficiency on lab, because that'll give you a much bigger increase to your EXP, so you're able to level up lab faster. So skill efficiency is #1, the most important thing as when it comes to lab. So skill efficiency is better than the lab EXP. What was I talking about? Also, World 7 meals are, coming around the corner as World 7 gets introduced. So as those meals get introduced, obviously we'll need to see what those bonuses are, but they might be really impactful, such as Yummy Peach Ring being with gold food bonus. Maybe there's multipliers to, I guess, character damage, class EXP. I don't believe there's a class EXP meal, right? There's breeding EXP, there's lab EXP, cooking EXP, but there's not really like a class EXP one. There might be a class EXP multiplier meal. I don't know, I'm just speculating. There might be a really good multiplier to some of the new World 7 skills, or some of the World 6, World 5, World 4, whatever skills. So maybe, keep your eye peeled for whatever a new World 7 meal would drop. maybe there'll be another meal for a liquid capacity multiplier, or liquid rate multiplier for all the cauldrons. That would be pretty insane. I don't know, just as meals are introduced, obviously there's going to be a reason potentially to ribbon, or rather save your ribbons for a World 7 meal, depending on what that bonus might be. So meal percent meal, that would be crazy. Let's see what. Okay, maybe how many pets do you have below level 10? You have quite a few. I mean, they're not really that great. How about 15? Any 15ers that are pretty good? Yeah, I see some drop rate, some base efficiency for skills. Honestly, with how much shiny multi you have, it wouldn't take a lot of effort to get these pets up to level 10 at like a minimum, and then going from 13 to 15 for a lot of these also is not going to take that much time for you. So I would consider getting a lot of these pets up to 15. Honestly, even printing like a copy of each of these pets, like one of them, and trying to get them to 15 will be pretty good. Ooh, you also have quite a few pets you don't have a breedability 7, so I would consider trying to do that. The more pets of breedability you have at level 7, the more crit chance your Windwalker form is going to have. And also remember that Windwalker's abilities can mega crit, so there is a reason to push past 100% crit chance on your Windwalker, as well as your other master classes, obviously, so you can get more damage to get more dust gain, because that'll help you kind of whittle down those World 6 mobs right now. And as World 7 comes around, if we're able to kill them and get more dust out of them, that is potentially more dust gain that way as well through the mega crit. Lab, I guess probably my recommendation is do a little bit more Windwalker, more Arcane Cultist to try to unlock the North Winds Jewel. So, progressing the Tesseract using, honestly, this is the first time in a while I would recommend Idleon Efficiency for this, but Idleon Efficiency has a great tool for people to use the optimizer for how to upgrade like Windwalker Compass, upgrade Deathbringer Grimoire, or in the case of Arcane Cultist, the Tesseract. Upgrading, you can put how many like resources per hour you get here, recalculate, and then you can optimize for arcane damage. It concatenizes all the upgrades you need, and roughly how many of those tachyons you need to upgrade it. In this case, another 30 levels, right? So you can use this, recognize how many tachyons you need to upgrade your damage a bit more, or if you're trying to unlock new stuff, these are the upgrades you should do to try to upgrade and unlock your next upgrade, the Tesseract. Or if you're using Windwalker, for example, your next upgrade, or I guess you'd more so focus on damage, what upgrades you need to do to focus on damage and get more damage out of your Windwalker. Or in the case of Grimoire, if you're trying to progress the Grimoire, what would be your next I'm just put 1 trillion here. These are not my rates. What upgrades you should focus on to get to your next upgrades. These Idleon Efficiency is better than Toolbox in this regard, because it actually does a good job at grouping the upgrades. Idleon Toolbox doesn't necessarily, it's not really that good, to be completely honest with you, because it says it'll like group by upgrades, but then it doesn't. So you'll see here it says Singular Hoarding from 81 to 92, and then Arcanist Damage from 122 to 123, and then Singular Hoarding is back to 93. Like, why not just move 81 to 93 or 81 to 94, 95, whatever it is? It's just really bad, annoying, pretty bad. Idleon Efficiency is actually pretty good for that. I talked about Owl. Rift, good. Its efficiency, running of damage gain. I think honestly, in my opinion, I like farming 1 tachyon at a time. Yeah. Okay, as an endgamer Arctic, I think just because it's nice, in my opinion, I think you should try to get all level 300 boats, getting all Dreadnought boats, because it's fun. You don't need to do it, but it'll help you get more sailing speed. And who knows, maybe World 7 will introduce new islands for us to unlock for new artifacts. So, getting more sailing speed and more loot value will help you in the long run. So you know, getting 300 boats will help you if that ever happens, which, you know, there's obviously design space for it, so it might happen. Plus 18 for everyone. Obviously, coming from someone who likes Divinity, obviously aiming for plus 19 is what you should do. So getting to, was that like 190-ish Divinity or so? Oh, never mind. I guess you are there. Are you like lacking big P levels or something? Ah, that's why. Your big P levels are low. Getting this to like 6,000-7,000, I think will get you up to plus 19. Honestly, at this stage, gaming is very tedious. What I did is I went for the 24 sprout capacity you can get in gaming. So, you know, up to you if you want to do that, but that's going to be a heavy focus on gaming bit gain from the Bravery Monument, Bravery Multi. What else? I guess the upgrades for sprout value, sprout speed. Again, the more sprout speed you get, the higher level tier crops you can grow within 5 seconds. For gaming, so you get more gaming bits out of them, because the higher mutation of those crops that you get, the more multi you'll get from those crops or other plots. Or what gaming? What are they called? Gaming crops, gaming whatever, sprouts, whatever. Farming 216 crops. I mean, the name of the game for farming this late in the game is just Evo GMO, just straight up leveling Evo GMO. In my opinion, I got my speed to 40%, and that was perfectly fine for me. I got my OG Fert to 4x, and that's also fine. But I mean, 90% of the upgrades you're going to be getting from here on out are just Evo GMO. And then what I did is, whenever I do my farming reset and I try to try to unlock new crops, I go specifically to a warrior class. The reason I do that is because the warrior's rule bubble does impact the crop chapter upgrade that you have here, which means you get more crop evolution chance, which is a very tiny amount, but because it's getting multiplied by warrior's rule, it's actually scaling this quite a lot, and you're able to get a non-negligible amount of crop evolution chance, especially since it's getting multiplied by things like evolution GMO, and also the star sign that we have here, the crop evo per farming level. Obviously, I get a star sign doubler. I equip this on my warrior class, and I try to grow the highest crop that I can. And, I'll get lucky, occasionally get like a +1 crop. I'm kind of nearing the end of farming. I think I'm at 225 or 226 crops found out of the 230 that are currently available. So again, farming is just very, very slow, and it comes down to just a bunch of points into evolution GMO at this point. Okay, sneaking. Sure. Gemstone farming, maybe? Either gemstone farming, or you are on a pristine charm farm. Again, as a call out, pristine charms as of right now are still bugged. It doesn't reset your chances at the daily reset like it was supposed to. Instead, it just continuously diminishes your returns at finding a new pristine charm as you find them. So the way it's supposed to work is you have a high chance at the beginning of every day to find a pristine charm, and the chance goes down over time. And the way it's supposed to work is that chance resets at your daily timer. However, it currently doesn't do that, and just continually decreases it. In my opinion, with your level of action speed of the scroll and your level of starite and moissanite, double meteorite is better, just because of how much action speed you get. Doing the yellow belt and meteorite might actually net you a massive decrease of items found. So I think you are farming the correct things. Specifically, though, I do want to call out that if you are trying to farm gemstones right now, or you're trying to farm if you're trying to farm pristine charms, you should do it on the last floor. The reason being is because the last floor of sneaking, which I don't know if I can't show, the last floor of sneaking only has one one charm item. And if you're trying to find pristine charms, the way pristine charms work is whenever you find a charm, it will replace that charm and give you a pristine charm instead. So you want to optimize the amount of charms you find, and the way you do that is go to the last floor where there's only one easy to find item, that being the black belt. The only other item you can realistically find is the hat, which has a really, really low drop rate. So for all intents and purposes, the only thing you're going to find are the black belts, and you have a high chance, as your inventory fills, there's a chance it turns into a pristine charm. So if you want a pristine charm farm, the last floor of sneaking is the most optimal thing to do. If you're trying to gemstone farm, obviously, go whatever floor you're trying to go for. With double meteorites, or if you don't have a lot of action speed multi from the gemstones that you have, the starites and the moistenites, as well as a high level of that question mark, the yellow question mark from the sneaking charm, then meteorite plus yellow belt might be better for you. 3, so you're stuck on invincibility. Okay, I would try and push further into endless summoning, because these aren't that bad of battles, to be completely honest. You should try to get yourself stuck at the fair play. Also, trying to push endless summoning, trying to get this meal bonus is going to be really, really good for you, obviously, because it'll give you more gold food effect, because it'll give you more liquid cap, more summoning exp, more divinity exp, all that stuff. So pushing endless summoning right now can actually net you some pretty good bonuses for your account, and obviously getting stuck on fair play is just generally kind of what you want to do. Beanstalk, you have everything maxed out. That's good. Emperor 73. I think AC is now the best for farming Emperor, because you can go to that top platform and hit the Emperor, spawn a bunch of skulls, and it kind of really multi-shots the Emperor, so you are able to get pretty decent amount of damage numbers on AC than you could the other classes. So try it on AC, see if it's better. Although DK does have a really good endurance feat, because you get a lot of defense, you get a lot of HP, so you're able to survive longer and kind of be a little bit more AFK on that. But AC, you do need to kind of dodge the mechanics a little bit, or if your damage is high enough, you can just go to the top platform and just kill the Emperor. But definitely pushing the showdown is probably something you want to do, because the next one you get is going to be more stealth to help you push into Mastery 5. The one after that's Deathbringer Bones. Obviously, pushing the Grimoire is fairly helpful. And then after that, more Equinox bar fill rate. Eventually, AC Tachyons at level 83 is pretty good. And more drop rate at 79 is decent as well. Also, the summoning wind bonus at 80, also pretty good. There's a bunch of stuff here you have in the future that are fairly obtainable, that are really, really good. Okay. Arctic, I think we'll stop there. I think, again, the biggest thing I see for your account in the short term is just shrine levels, trying to get to 29. So getting more gold food, trying to probably, if you want to do specifically gold cheese, again, Blokes is probably the better map to farm on AC, getting that drop rate multi inside Arcane Cultist form, and then going on DK, statue farming, or other, crystal farming at Blokes is probably the better if you want to specifically target gold cheese, and getting like a 100k stack on your characters, farming endless summoning, getting that meal bonus for the other little bit of gold food effect that you can from the MVP ring, trying to get a level 20 ribbon on that to help you with the statue farming as well. Ultimately, trying to aim for level 30 shrines just down the road is going to be very good for your account. Obviously, you have the candy as well, so that's something you can do, moving your shrines to the Royal 2 town, trying to do the Fractal Island, for example, and trying to level up your shrines that way. It's probably going to help a ton. And obviously that 40,000 hours is going to help a ton with sneaking, because this is a huge increase, about a 10x increase to your stealth percent to help you reach Mastery 5. And this is kind of required at this stage to try to get there. So I would probably spend your candies and try to get here, to be completely honest with you. And if you're worried about the next ballot coming out with Shriny XP, I do want to remind you, the last time Shriny XP came in rotation, people voted for Classy XP. So I wouldn't bet on Shriny XP coming in rotation and people actually voting for it, because the stupidest thing won out over it. So if you're gambling on Shriny XP and the ballot coming out and taking advantage of it, you may not actually get it. So anyways, Arctic, good luck. I hope to see you get that 40,000 hours in Fractal. Hope to see your shrines get up to level 29 or 30. And that'll honestly probably give you pretty decent account bonuses. Anyways, have a great day. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I just want to say as a last thing, thank you to all of my Twitch subscribers and YouTube channel members. You guys really help the channel grow and really motivate me to continue making videos. If you guys do also want to support me on YouTube, it's just $1 a month for a channel subscription at the lowest tier. You can choose to give more if you want. Just want to say that. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate your support. Have a great day. Bye.